People don't understand how big of a deal Polymarket is along with these other betting markets. They're absolutely just being catapulted into the mainstream. They're providing so many new trading opportunities. The recent election was a perfect example of that. It showed one candidate in the lead going into the voting day. And then by midnight, it had a 97% chance that Donald Trump was going to be elected as president before any mainstream media and news outlets called a single swing state. I am not an investor in Polymarket. I don't stand to benefit from their success. I'm just a dude with a dog. I'm Vosk here on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. Today I'm going to break down Polymarket in particular, and a bit beyond it, things like Robinhood's new contract betting marketplace, which is incredible, to just give regular traders the access of that right at their fingertips on an app that very many people have. The market's rallying, Bitcoin's pumping, cryptocurrencies are pumping. It's a very exciting time if you are in this sector, and if you're not, then what are you doing? Don't be mad at the people who are winning when you won't even jump in the game. I love prediction markets because they make you put your money where your mouth is. You can spout off all this stuff, but if you're so confident, if you feel like, oh, it's so good for you to have an opinion, put your money where your mouth is, boy. Because eventually, you're gonna be rich, or you're gonna shut the fuck up. Let's look at some key takeaways for Polymarket. It was more accurate on the forecast going into the election. Trump was priced at 62% going into the election. Polymarket traded $3.6 billion on the presidential election. This was the largest election betting market by volume in history and an order of magnitude more than any other election market. However, I think places like Robinhood will absolutely be able to rival participation like this because it's easier to access. So the fact that they can do it and it's much more difficult to do, right? Where's the Polymarket app, right? Do you already have cash sitting in it? But there are very many people in that situation with Robinhood. And I guess as a disclosure, I own a little bit of Robinhood stock, but I'm not some Robinhood shill or anything. I use Robinhood, I use Fidelity, I use Schwab, I use SoFi. I split my investments across multiple platforms just as a simple hedge and safeguard measure. Polymarket was more accurate than the polls, than the models.
Headlines worldwide now highlighting how Trump has extended his lead in those betting markets, while virtually all polls continue to show a razor-thin margin between the candidates. Even Trump's wealthiest backer, Elon Musk, posting without evidence to his millions of followers, the betting markets are, quote, more accurate than polls.
You can pull all of these prediction markets up and see their data, and you can go back and look at some previous history. And one fun fact, for example, on the Robinhood prediction market, there was only one time where Kamala Harris traded above Trump.
You think you just fell out of a coconut tree?
And it was basically on one day for an hour or two. But let's talk about polls. I agree with the sentiment that polling sucks. It was well established in the pre-internet era to some degree. I think it was overrated then even. But in current era, I don't know where they're doing these polls. I don't know who's running them, and I don't really care. I've never been polled since I've been of voting age. So my data has never been in any poll you've ever seen, from mainstream media and scammy news outlets and all that stuff. We look at things like Twitter polls. People will laugh about them. They will make fun of them. You can buy votes on those things. So it's not like they are absolutely pure, cannot be influenced. But I find them to be more interesting and more accurate. They're better data samples. This is also a weird election where it was so divided that depending on the candidate you liked, you could be labeled all kinds of things. And that leads to a lot of people not really talking about who they support, not really talking about why, and you end up with what can be called the shy voter effect. This is more noteworthy with Donald Trump, and it was also interesting how many celebrities that have been to Diddy parties endorsed the opposing candidate.
Up in the morning feeling like pizza.
I'm not here to sway you. The election's over. I just want to give you some food for thought. What was interesting though was the real-time feedback and the very good job by Polymarket's social media team. They were calling the election in real time. It wasn't just about the candidate and their winning percent projection, right? They were calling swing states before mainstream media does, right? And because mainstream media, they want you tuned in. They want it to be a tight race. They want you staying up all night. They want their views high, their ratings high. They want to play ads. They want to make money. You're the product. Why do you think it's free? And speaking of free content, huge shout out to today's video sponsor, Coin Mining Central. We're an affiliate with them. We've got a coupon code VoskCoin to save some coin. They sell all kinds of different mining rigs, including Bitcoin mining rigs, and BTC is obviously jumping off the charts. But even more exciting, in my opinion, are Dogecoin miners right now, because Doge is surging in price as well, and one of the most lucrative coins to mine in the world, actually second only to Bitcoin in daily mining emissions. How you like that segue? I was like, well, I don't know, why don't we just talk about it now? Unless you guys want to pay for VoskCoin content, VoskCoin needs sponsors to stay in business. Here's the thing, I'm transparent and I'll answer any question you got, and I always let you know my situation, my exposure, and no hidden agenda, right? I can't say the same for MSM. That's mainstream media. I like this line. Markets don't care about drama. They care about outcomes. And it's true. Anyone who I thought was going to win by an absolute landslide, devoid of who I would even be voting for, I would bet on. I'm not so arrogant, right, that I would bet my money on a candidate that I think is absolutely or even likely to lose. I only bet my money on the candidate I firmly believed would win. I bet a substantial sum to me. I care and it matters. I'll be pissed if I lose that. And it really wasn't great odds. It was a lot of risk versus reward. We look at just things like buying Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies and sitting around for a year or more and potentially yielding way better investment results without that huge investment risk, right? Because if you pick the wrong option in a prediction market, you don't just lose. You lose everything you put in. It's kind of like futures trading, right? Or derivatives trading, where if you're wrong, you liquidate it. See you later. But yeah, Polymarket traders have no loyalty to narrative and no incentive to play up the drama. Polymarket's founder said that Trump's campaign team was reading Polymarket to try to interpret the odds. So where do prediction markets go from here? There's all kinds of questions, right, that can be put into a prediction market. But there is arguably nothing as engaging as a presidential election here in the United States of America. Things like the Super Bowl could definitely get a lot of traction, Super Bowl winners and things like that. But what this really did was pave the way for the future. The fact that even under the Democratic regime, which has actively attacked investing, traders, and above all, attacked cryptocurrency users, miners, holders, the whole crypto community, these prediction markets were still able to get to market, deploy products, right? We have on-chain deployment, things like Polymarket. And I'm serious, to my surprise, even Robinhood was able to deploy their prediction market, all while being a publicly traded company that is under much more scrutiny. Sure, the SEC, if you look at what they've done over the last few years, there's probably a Wells notice coming to Robinhood and Polymarket any minute now. But I hope we see a lot of changes, because one of the biggest standouts in the US during that election was how many pro-crypto members of the government were elected. Overwhelming cryptocurrency support across the board. For the first time in history, cryptocurrency has been a mainstream ticker for an election.
This afternoon, I'm laying out my plan to ensure that the United States will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world, and we'll get it done.
That made the Democratic Party do a 180 in their final hours of campaigning, realizing that there's some people out there that they want crypto, they like crypto, they use crypto, they want to be in crypto, they want to invest in crypto. And even bigger and more important than that, there's a lot of high net worth individuals in cryptocurrency, which leads to high donations, high support, right? And I'm not saying I love that aspect of all of this, but the bottom line is it's quite literally financially big. It's noteworthy. So what do you think? Looking at the data, everything's flipping green. I'm pretty excited. And 2025, honestly, is looking bullish as
Ding.
Please no World War III or any kind of black swan drama. I've been through bear markets. I did my time, man. I'll die before I go back. But seriously, let me know down in the comments below what you guys are thinking. I'm Vosk, you're on the VoskCoin YouTube channel. I hope you subscribe and stick around. Our best content is yet to come. I'm very excited because bear markets are time where you build and you persevere. Bull markets are time to, seriously, are times for life-changing gains, rags to riches, generational wealth. It's not just some BS sales pitch. That's where the real opportunity lies. I'll see you on the next one.